Hello, welcome back to my farmhouse sewing room. Today I want to give you a tutorial on how I make a bunny backpack drawstring bag. This is a really fun project. Today this is going to be for a little girl, but it's very versatile. You can do it for anybody, actually. You don't have to be a bunny, but this would be a really fun start. It's beginner friendly, as I said. So if you want to get a piece of paper and pen and take down some notes, this is going to be a part 1 video of 2 videos, only because the cutting and preparing and everything and the sewing, so I want to kind of break it down so it's not too long, and this will help you get started. So if you want to get your things cut, and then we can sew together in my next video if you want to sew along with me. I just thought this would be a really fun thing to do. But this is my sketchy idea. You can see that the bag, it's going to have some long ears and a little fluffy tail. A part up top here, it's going to be a tube to put your cord through to make the drawstrings. And then there's a little attachment for a hanger. And I will give you the details here. So I've already prepared my ears. I've cut them out already, and I did my little paper trick where I fold paper in half and draw out a design and kind of get, the shape of an ear. So this ear, you're going to need 4 pieces because you're going to do front and back and you're going to flip it. So this ear is about 9.5 by 4.5 inches, somewhere in that range. 9.5 inches long by no wider than 4.5. So, and you can kind of play with this paper till you get, what you think you like your bunny ear. There is no rules to this, it's your project. So, we're going to have an inner part of the ear, which we're going to do like a little pink design, like for the pink and the bunny ears. It'll be really cute. This is an 8.5 by 3, and you might have to play with this to get it to fit, in your bigger part of your ear. And you want to allow, seam allowance too, because when you do your outer ear, we're gonna flip it, and there's gonna be seam allowance. So might have to downsize it a little bit too. I'll see when I get there. But anyway, this is an 8.5 by 3. Should fit into your ear. Just play with it. Fold it in half, I had to kind of play with this and keep trimming it down until I felt like it was right, but I might need to trim it down a little bit more. But you only need 2 of these. So I'll show you my ears. I had some scrap chenille, and I just took some of my chenille. These are going to be my bunny ears. They're nice and soft, and we'll sew these together, right sides together, and then we'll flip it. And then the inner part of my ear with the pink, I found this little plaid looking pink, and it'll be the center. We'll sew this down to the outside of the ear once we get it sewed together and flipped. And I also have some of this stuff. It's like a gauzy material. It's called chenille. I have gotten this from Pinterest, and it's a blooming bias. And I'm going to sew this around the edges of my inner pink ear and make it so it looks like it's fuzzy, because when you can scrape it or you can brush it and it makes it feel like chenille. It just, I don't know, gives it a really cool effect. But you can also get this at Joann Fabrics. It's under the Dritz, and it's called the Blooming Bias. And basically when you sew this on, you sew it right up the middle, and then when you fray it, it makes like this fuzzy, really cool effect. And you can do a couple layers of this to make it even fuzzier if you want, but we'll get to that later in the sewing. I also got this little fuzzy bunny tail. These you can find at any craft store. Probably like a pack of 6. I've made a lot of these bunny bags, so I've used a lot of these, but I just take some hot glue and glue this on. But this is the last part of your bag, but just some of the things that you'll want to have to make this cute little bunny bag for a little girl. Like I said, I already have the measurements for it. So the outside of my fabric is going to be this pretty green with little flowers in it. I like to mix my colors up. Nothing traditional for a bunny rabbit, because fabrics are just so fun to play with. And then I got this awesome plaid to match. This is going to be the casing for the drawstring and the little tabs on the bottom for the D-rings, and we might be able to make the hook out of this too, because there's a little loop on the back so you can hang it. For the inside, I had a big piece of this quilted material that I got, and it's already got like a batting in it, and this would make it a nice, give it some nice stiffness and durability. Otherwise, if I'd use regular fabric, I would interface it. So I'm going to use this quilted fabric for my inside liner. And also, I'm not going to do it on my bag, but if you wanted to, you could make a pocket on the inside, or you can put some cute appliques. I'm just throwing out some ideas for all of this. So The bag will be two-sided, and of course the bunny ears are going to be on the back side. When you wear it on your back, you'll be able to see the bunny ears. But I thought it would be really fun to put something on the inside like a design. So I'm going to do one of my little blocks here, and I've got a lot of these little scrappy squares because I save all my scraps and I cut them up into squares. So these pink squares on this, these are 3-inch squares, and you're going to need 9 of those. You're going to need 9 of the pink squares. And of course the center one, you can make it the same or you can put something different in it. I thought it would be fun to put something different in my center. These little points, I've already got these ironed, but these are 2-inch squares. And if I can get one apart. These are 2-inch squares, and you can see, get my fingers out of the way, but these are just 2-inch squares. And then I folded them corner to corner and I pressed them. Now these are just like the Scrappy Star that I did in a recent video with the quilt that I made. These are really fun to do and they're easy, and I'm going to walk you through on how to do that. Now I'm not sure what this measurement is going to be when I get this this block put together, but I will incorporate this block in the middle of the back side of my bunny bag, and then I will add the coordinating fabric around it to make the size that we need. So I'm going to walk you through all the cutting of the pieces. Like I said, you can work on the ears if you would like. Draw out some ears out of paper and get them cut out. If you want to do the second part of video with me, the second part of this video is going to be a sew along, so we'll sew all of our pieces together. This is just the first part of this video, and I'm going to do all the cutting and make all the preparations, and then if you want to make this, it'll be easy and fun to sew along with me. I mean, I'm new at this, so bear with me. So I'm going to position my camera down, and I will let you watch all the cutting that I do on my cutting station here. The station is awesome. So we'll start with the inner piece of the bag, and if you want to take notes, the lining and the outside of the bag, the inside of the bag is going to be my quilted fabric. My outside of my bag is just going to be regular fabric. And you don't need any interfacing on this if you use the quilted fabric. But if you use 2 regular pieces of fabric, you might want to interface one or both of them. It's up to you, really. I mean, this is your project. No pattern required. It's just easy to do. And this is very beginner friendly. So the outside of our bag, it's going to be 14 inches high, and it's going to be 12 inches wide. So 14 inches wide by 12 inches wide, and you're going to need 2 pieces for the front and 2 pieces for the inside. So we'll get that started, and I'm going to position you down on my cutting table, and we will get this cut out. Okay, so I'm going to move you down. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing. You're right down here, so you're on my cutting table. And this is kind of a wonky piece, so I'm going to kind of even it off. So, and I can fold my fabric over and double it, hopefully make it fit. So I'm going to see if I can even this up. Now it's kind of bigger than my spot, but I'm trying to give you an idea how I do things here at home. And I just want to make sure that I start with a straight edge. Throw that in the trash. So now I'm going to move this down because my mat starts at 1. And I'm going to line that up with the 1 line. So, and my 14 is here. So my 14, and on my grid on here, my 14 line, my 14 in measurement, falls into my number 8 slot. So for me to make this 14 inches long, I'm going to cut it on my 8 slot. So that will give me the right tallness that I need, the length. And it's a little wide, so I'm going to have to just trim it in here. And then I'm going to trim this down, so I don't need this piece. So we'll set that aside. Now I've got my 14 inches long. Now I'm going to want it to be 12 inches wide. So I think I'm going to need to even it off on the end here. So I'm just gonna trim this up before I do that. So I have a nice straight edge. So I put that in my 1, so I know that that's a nice straight edge. Now, I already know that this is 14 inches this way. So if I measure it down here, there's my 14. So it's 14 tall. And now I'm going to need it 12 inches wide. So, yeah, it's 14, so I'm going to cut it this way. So I should have left that right on there. And I'm going to try to get this as straight as I can on there, because my grid on my lid, this measures a perfect 12 inches. So I'm a little over here, and I just want to make sure that everything is nice and straight, and that I have a nice workable edge there. So now I'm going to cut this at my 12, because it's 0 through 12. So that my grid in here has a perfect 12 inches. So I've already got it 14. And I'm going to cut it to 12 wide. So this is my first 12 wide by 14 tall. So I'm going to set that aside, and I need one more. So I'm going to line this up again on my 1 inch, my 0 edge for my grid here that's on the top. So this is my 0 edge, and this is to 12. So that'll give me a good 12 by 14, so I'll have my inside of my bag cut. I know my cutting station is just a little bit complicated, but this was made for me, and it works very well for me. So I can measure on my mat, and I can measure in my grid thing here that I have on top. So now I've got the inside of my bag done. I got 2 pieces, as you can see. Sorry, there's a few fuzz balls on there. I'll have to take a little lint roller and clean it off. So there's that. And now I need 2 14 tall by 12 inches wide on this piece. So I've got a little bit of an edge here, and I'm probably going to want to take that off. Yeah, let's just cut that off. Let me just fold this over, and I will get this a little more workable to work with here. Make sure I got it on here straight, because I want a nice cut, but I'll take this edge off, and I'll take that little piece off because that's not usable. Set that aside. Okay, now this is doubled over, as you can see. I got 2 pieces, so I pretty much know that let's see if I can fold it over this way. This would be easier. This is what I love about this, is I can fold it over and I can cut it to where I need it. Now I still need to even off this edge, so I'm going to get rid of that edge just so I have a straight edge to work with. And actually we'll cut at 12, and then I'll just need it 14 the other way. So now you can see it's already 12 inches wide. Now I need a 14-inch piece. So if I go down here, and this is my 1 line. Move it up a little bit so I can make sure it stays in my slotted grid. I'm lining it up on the edge of that line, and the 14 right here is right here. So, and my 14 falls under the 8 slot on my grid thing here. So I'm just going to cut that there. And now I've got 2 pieces for my outside of my bag, which is 12 by 14. But the back side of this, we're not going to need the whole back side, because I'm going to put that star block in the middle of my back side. So I'll probably cut this down so it fits the star block in the middle, but we'll get to that later. Right now, I've just got the 2 pieces. You don't have to put the star block in the back of yours. It's up to you. But I'm going to show you how I do it. But right now, I just got my pieces all ready to go. So that's the outside and the inside of the bag is all cut. And now the next thing I need the part that makes the drawstring go through. And I didn't write down the measurements for that. Silly me. So I do know that I want it to be, my bag is 12 inches wide, and we're going to have to hem it. So I'm going to make it 10 inches long. Let's do 10 and a half. I'm going to do it 10 and a half inches long. So that piece is 10.5 inches long. I'll set that one aside. And of course this has got some threads on it, and I probably should trim them off because I want it to be good. So let me just trim that off in any spot on here just to make sure it's nice and straight. So the bag is 12, and I don't want it to be as long as the bag because you got to allow seam allowance, and this is going to have to be turned on. So in my design here, you can see that my casing does not go all the way to the either side. So I want at least probably close to 1 inch or better, because there is going to be seam allowance and stuff, and you don't want that to the end of your bag. So if I can explain that, but when we get sewing, you'll see what I mean. So this 10.5 piece, we're going to fold it in half. So I probably want it 3 inches. Let's say if we fold it in 3 inches, that would give us 1.5. Well, plus seam allowances. Let's say 3.5, just because we're going to allow for seam allowance. So 3.5 and 3.5 is 7. So I've got 2 pieces for my casing for my paracord to go through. They're 10 inches long, and they are 3.5 inches wide. And what we're going to do is we're going to fold these in half, and we're going to press them and set them aside, because this is what your paracord, this stuff here, is going to go through. And paracord, you can get this. This will be your drawstrings. You can get this at the Dollar Tree has it, Walmart has it, and some of your craft stores may even have it, but it's called paracord, and you can get it in different colors. I have some black, so this is probably what I'm going to be using for this bag. But those are our drawstring casings. So we need those, and we'll set that aside with our inner and our outer pieces of our bag. So that's that. And now I'm going to need a couple little pieces for the D-rings. And the D-rings, I need 2 pieces, and we're going to fold these, and I'm going to make them 3 inches by 3.5. So I'm going to take this excess little piece that I got here, and I'm going to cut this at the 3.5 mark. And set that one aside, and then I'm going to cut. So now I got it 3.5. 1, 2, 3.5, and now I'm going to cut them in 3 inches wide. So 5, 6, 7, 8. Sorry, I'm not explaining my board very well, but I just do this. That's what I'm used to. So now you've got like these 3 inches high by 3.5 inches long, and what you're going to do is you're going to fold these in half, and you're going to make a center line here. I'm just finger pressing these, but you might want to do this on your iron. And then you're going to fold in each side to that center seam press line, and you're going to press it, and then you're going to fold it in half again, and you're going to get this long little piece like this. And you're going to want, when we take this to the sewing machine, when we sew, we're going to sew down each side and secure it, and then we're going to slip a D-ring in it, and these will be your little D-ring tabs that will go on the bottom. If you can see my drawing here, I have these little tabs on the bottom, and the bottom of this bag really is nice because I box it. Boxing is really easy to do, and it will give your bag a bottom for things to sit in, and it just makes it really nice. It won't be totally flat. So if your small child has toys or books or whatever, wants to go to grandma's house, this is a really cute idea for a little girl to slip onto her back, or even a boy. You could do this for a boy too. It doesn't matter, but it's very versatile. I've made plenty of these little bags for kids. I've made some that weren't bunny bags for my nephew, and just did up like Batman. I mean, the ideas are endless to do these bags. I mean, if you look on my Broken Wing Bag and Baggage page, you would see my nephew David had a birthday here this summer, and I made him a Batman drawstring backpack bag, and it had a star on the back with the Batman in it, and it was just really cool and a fun thing. He could put his toys in there, and he could carry it on his back if he goes places, you know, like I said, if they're going to grandma's house or whatever. This is a really fun bag for kids. But you can do this for older folks as well. I have one here that I made for my nephew. I haven't given it to him yet, but he's an older boy, and I just did him I'm getting all tangled in it. I did him a USA backpack bag and I appliqued the USA on it. And this is just made out of denim. And here is the casing that your paracord goes in. So you can see this is just white paracord. and it's been knotted. And then the little tab on the bottom, it has the D-rings. Very simple to make. And the liner in this was kind of done like with maps. I just thought it made it look really funky in the inside. I mean, the creativity is up to you. And I didn't interface this bag either because I used the denim, and the denim is really thick and heavy, so it gives the bag a good stability. And the bottom here, as you can see, it's boxed. So it gives it a little bit of a flat surface if you put books or whatever in there. But these are really fun bags, and they're not just for kids. You can do these for teenagers or older people. It's up to you, the design and how you want to do it. I mean, it's like a canvas. You just make it fun, you know? But they're really cool, you know? And you don't have to carry them. You can carry them on your back, you know? And kids love them. So, anything else we need for this bag? We do need to cut the loop for the back, for the hanging on the bag. I did not put a loop for hanging on this bag, but I do like to put that little loop on them. And if you notice on any backpacks, they have a little loop so you can hang them on a hook, especially if they go to school or something, they can just hang them up. Or if you don't want to monkey with the loop, you can always hang them up by the strings. But if I can do this and show you how this closes, when you pull the handles on your bag, you see how it cinches it up at the top, and then you carry it, you know, you slip it on your shoulders, and, you know, of course it would go on the other arm too, but I'm just demonstrating for you. I know I look like a dork. But you get the idea. So anyway, let me do the cutting up of the hook real quick, and we'll close up this video, and my next video we will get to the fun stuff where we are actually putting this together, and you'll see how easy it is. It's just really cool, and I wish there was more videos out like this to teach you how to do this stuff. So anyway, let's get back to the cutting. I'm going to get you back down here on the table, and I'm going to, this is probably long enough for a loop. Let me see how tall it is. So this is about 7.5 inches long. Yes, it's 7.5. Now this is a block or whatever kind, so it makes it look like it's uneven, so I'm kind of questioning myself, but it's not. But if I wanted to fix that, I probably could cut this so it wouldn't look like it was crooked, but I think it's just the fabric itself. But let's see, I got 1, 2, 3, 4 inches should be enough. 4 inches to make a loop for it to hang on. So it's 4 inches wide, and it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7.5. It is 7.5 perfect. And we're gonna do the folding process for the loop for our bag the same way we did for the D-ring tabs. You make a fold in the middle, and then you fold the outside edges to that middle fold line. And this might be a little fatter than what I would probably like for a hook or a loop to hang your bag on, but it would work. You could actually make this a little thinner. You probably could do this a 3.5, and it would make it a little bit skinnier. It's up to you. I might take this down to a 3.5 instead of a 4, just so it's not so wide, because I kind of like a skinnier loop, just something to hang it onto a hook or whatever. So if you want to get that prepared as well, so we'll have our drawstring casings, we will have the loop for our back, and we will have the little pieces for the D-rings, the little tabs that we're going to put the D-rings in. So you need 2 D-rings too, so if you want to prepare for that, we will have the front and the back of the bag, which I have here. So the outside of my bag, the inside of my bag, 2 pieces of this, 2 pieces of the outside, the drawstring casings, which we said the casings were, they were 10.5 by 3.5. So trying to keep your measurements straight. So if you have to go back through and write everything down, I'm sorry I didn't have everything written down. And I got the casing, or not the casing, the piece to make the little loop to hang your bag, and also the little pieces for my D-rings, which, where did I put those? Oh, they're on the floor. Okay, so we did the little blocks for the D-rings, and these are 3.5 by 3. So we're going to fold it to the middle, and then fold the outside ends into the middle, and then we're going to And if you want to have them already pressed, or if you want to sew them down each side, you can go ahead and do that too, but I will get to that later with the sewing. So, and if you want to do the star block, remember that you need 9 pieces of 3-inch blocks, 9 3-inch blocks square. The center block, you can do it the same or you can do it different. Mine is different. And then you're going to need 8 2-inch blocks, and we're going to fold them in half and press them corner to corner to make the star legs. And I will get to that and show you how to do that too with this awesome little bunny bag. But it's going to be fun. And if you're a beginner sewer, this would be a really good thing. I can show you just how easy it is, you know, and it's so versatile. So I'm looking forward to seeing you in my next video within the next couple of days. Work carries me away, so I have to concentrate on that. But we'll get back in here and we'll get to the fun stuff, okay? So I hope to see you soon. Take care. Bye.